Okay, so we now have a lot of logic. We have our print the board, we have the add the mark, and then we have the is full, and then we have the actual runner. So our last thing is how do we get it to be a game over for the players? So this is going to be called def game over, and we're going to be looking at the board parameter for this function. So for row in range, and this is going to be hard for you guys to master. So I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to now do my logic. So what this logic is going to be looking for is if the row is all of the same symbol. So if it's all A's or if it's all B's. So if the board row and the column is 0 does not equal empty, and the board row of 0 equals the board row of the first column, and the board row and 0 equals board row of the second column. We're going to return true. Now, I'm just going to quickly do this for column as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. So for call, instead of row here, it's going to be row 0 and call, and if it's not blank. So this is going to turn into 0, and this is going to be call. This is going to be 1, and this is going to be call. This is going to be 0, and this is going to be call. Remember, we're looking at columns. This is going to be 2, and this is going to be column. Perfect. And now we're going to be looking at diagonals. So I'm just going to take this if statement here. So if the top left of the board is the same as the middle and the bottom right, we're going to win. And then we need the exact opposite going the other direction. So going from top right to bottom left. So this is going to be bottom left, through the center of the board, all the way to the top right. And this is going to be returning true. Everything else is going to return false. Perfect. So we're getting really close. So we're inside of this logic now, inside the tic-tac-toe logic. So win equals game over board. So elif and then win, print mark plus wins, and we want the mark Q to occur to quit out. Elif Mark equals to B, Mark equals A, else Mark equals to B. So this is automatically set up to be a two-player game. The first player is set up to put in their move, and then the next player is set up to set up their move. That is done by this logic. So A is automatically set up, and then B is automatically set up until you get to a possible tie or someone wins the actual game. Win is looking at what variable, which is then looking at what function. Think about it. That is our next question that we need to figure out. How does the game now actually work? So let's try it. So this is first player. I'm going to put in 1, 1. So this is second player. So I'm going to block the middle. So I'm going to put in row 2, column 2. All right, so now I'm first player. So I want to go row 3, column 1. All right, so now I'm player 2. So now I'm going to try to block that. I'm going to try to block that move. So now I'm going to do row 2, column 1. All right, I blocked it. All right, so now I'm upset. Okay, but I don't want the player 2 to win, so I'm going to go row 2, column 2. All right, so I'm going to go row 2, column 3. Blocked. Nice. All right, so now I have to think hard. What do I want to do? So I'm going to go... So I'm going to go for row 1, column 2. All right, so now I have to go for the block here, right? All right, so I'm going to go for row 3, and I'm going to do column 2. All right, is there any move that will allow me to win here? Oh, I got to block that at the bottom right. So I'm going to do row 3, column 3. All right, well, it looks like we're going to end in a stalemate, unfortunately. So we're going to do row 1, column 3. All right, so we tied. That's pretty cool. So I'm just going to run it again to show you guys that we can get a winner. So row 1, column 1. I'm going to go row 1, column 2. I'll do row 2, column 1. I'm going to do row 2, column 2. And then I'm going to do row 3, column 1. A wins. Now that's not very good spacing, so I'm just going to put in a space on line 78 between mark plus wins to get proper spacing. So guys, you have a nice little game over this break. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please answer your last assignment question.